and good evening. My name is Gold Vision. It's 7:77 p.m. and that means it's time for another camp meditation. Happy Friday night. Happy precursor to the weekend. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad we're all here. We're just doing a little meditation before we get into tonight's feature game. Just one that I found recently. It's I'm not sure what it's all about. It's a game called Fortnite. It's a game called Fortnite Capture the Flag. I'm really hoping that's gonna work. Actually, it's a beautiful game. There's a lot of people working on it. There's a lot of people making it happen. And I just bumped myself out of meditation. That's okay though. I've already beaten this game. This is 7 Second Summer Camp. As you may know, it's a game that I created for gamers to meditate, and it's how we begin our evenings here before the meditative gameplay live streams. We can go ahead and focus on a couple of the giraffes this time. Just get them going. It's kind of the fun part. We're pretty far along, so everybody's nice and ready for an evening. But you gotta sometimes you have to tame the giraffes just a little bit so they can enjoy what's happening. Anyway, I do have a couple announcements before we get into the game. Water polo is canceled. Mostly because I personally don't get it. I think it's wonderful to aspire to compete that way, but it's not happening tomorrow. Not because I don't get it, it's just not happening tomorrow. I don't know the real reason. Meditation candles, burn them if you got them. It's totally up to you, whatever scent you want to use. But if you do have a meditation candle and you're not about to fall asleep, it's recommended that you bring your intention and then light one and then let the flame carry your intention until you're ready to relax and have the evening extinguished. It's pretty exciting to have made it through this week. I feel like it was very difficult for a lot of people, but now we're moving on to bigger and better things, and we have a beautiful weekend ahead of us. The final announcement is to only focus on what you want to see more of. I think that's a good idea. I don't know how possible that is, but I think that we should definitely aspire to make that happen. I don't know how possible it's going to be for everybody, but I think that it's something that I personally try to focus on as much as I can. And it's a great note, it's a great idea to have written down here. But that's it for the announcements of this evening. I don't dropping the announcement sheet. I don't have a strong affinity for Fortnite, but I do think it's a pretty impressive game, and I think that a lot of people have worked really hard to make it big, and so I want to appreciate it as much as I can while it's still big and still important, and try to find out what is valuable there, and that way I can, as I embrace my position, whatever it is in the world, and the world of gaming, I can understand, appreciate, and then amplify the important things about such a well-regarded and popular part of the gaming community. Even though it's not my personal start, I got on my Apple box, my soapbox, last time I played Fortnite to express how upsetting Battle Royale is as a gameplay format. I mentioned that I preferred Capture the Flag because it was a more team-based game. I think that the philosophy of winner takes all and no one gets anything else is kind of dark, and I think that we would benefit from more team-based water polo style games where it's working together as a community and developing the skills of seeing how great of an accomplishment we can do when we're all on the same team, rather than trying to learn how to not be on a team. I think that's what bothers me. Let's see if we got a mushroom. Oh, we got the tradition mushroom marshmallow. I'm never gonna get it. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I should have a marshmallow in the evening. I should snack on that. But let's get into it. Let's get into this game. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't. But it's real. It's big, and hopefully there's a couple active players. I don't really understand the Fortnite ecosystem too. I'll scroll out for a second. There's just like everything: Japanese school, Pet Heroes Adventure, crazy red versus blue, 1v1 build fights, like this strange Radiohead background music. And I don't know what my microphone button is, so maybe I'll have to figure that out real quick, because I don't want to jump in there and have people talk to me and then not know how to talk to them. Push to talk. I don't want it to be open mic, because I'm going to talk to you instead of the random players we're on. But I don't want to really celebrate the team play aspect of this game without focusing on what my without offering my information to players. Place markers, middle mouse button. Okay, and then push to talk is why. Why not? Squad request and chat. Okay. Alright, let's get back into the browsing window. And then there's Lego Fortnite. I really don't know what Fortnite is, and I knew that it was Battle Royale and we did that last week, but now we're just going to jump in and see what it's like to play Capture the Flag in Fortnite. And I hope that it's something. I hope that it grows, if it's anything like the Capture the Flag I used to play. I hope it's something like that. We're preparing. I'm not deep in the Fortnite ecosystem. I've unlocked random things and signed in at one point. Maybe every couple months. And I'm actually really surprised how many updates were necessary to play last time and this time. I don't think I'd have to update the whole game, but I did today have to update it. I think it took several hours. I wasn't sure I was even going to get to play. But here we are. We're in it now. Connecting. I don't know how long the rounds are or how deep the gameplay is either. But we'll see. And we got to remember why is the way to talk. Just in case that comes up. Capture the other team's flag. This immersive CTF. With custom flags. Purchase unique power-ups. Will you attack or defend? I constantly go between the two. Because I don't mind defending, but if I can't participate fully, then I'm going to feel lost. This doesn't seem confusing at all, though. Alright. I've changed into a different person. And I'm just going to go for it. I think that's our flag that's taking off now. It seems like that's what's happened. And it seems like I have infinite ammo with several firearms. But I'm not necessarily focused on that right now. If you're unaware, this game is a, I think that's an opponent. Yeah. This game does have visual trauma. Even though it's rated for teens. Is that an unfriendly player? In our zone? Not sure. There's a lot of visual traumas and audio traumas as well. I can't even tell who's on my team. I would assume that anybody whose name I can read is on my team, but it seemed like somebody was a passenger in a vehicle. I'm gonna get away from all this noise. It's hard to think. It's hard to take in this world. and there's so many problems happening. It seems like a playground of sorts. A custom map playground. I'm gonna get to high ground and then observe what's happening. Seems like a lot of conflict happening on the right side. I don't even know what team we're on. This is not parsed out in the way that I'm used to for Capture the Flag. I feel like we should all be in uniform. Those tanks should be the right color, so I know which team we're on. Let's see how KJ Tank and Cupcake Boy fare on their way to the other side. I personally think that a big armored vehicle like that is probably a dangerous method of provocation. But it does look like the flag is down on the ground. Or was. Now KJ Tank is heading into the tank. The tank is taking hits. Cupcake Boy is helping the tank become airborne. The flag is on the ground. It's being defended. Cupcake Boy is okay, even though it became an aircraft for a moment, and now it looks like all the conflict is resolved. Well, I kind of stand out up here. I wasn't trying to intentionally commentate on what was happening down there. That looks really dangerous, though. I don't know if I would be able to, as an individual, participate too fully, especially in the capture the flag capacity. But it does look like our team, I thought, are we gaining points even though we're not capturing the flag? It doesn't seem like there's a consistency there. I'm reading that there was a huge update that happened this evening. Ooh, I just got a big experience points boost. Does that apply to my character across the board in this custom map that seems to have dynamic rules that don't reflect what I'm familiar with in Capture the Flag? It's one of the things that worries me about it, is that can you just make custom maps that players just grind their experience points without having to play any gameplay mechanics that are standardized? Yikes. There's a lot of problems down there. I like it up here though on this hill. I also seem to be experiencing some latency, which might be to my benefit. I really do want to touch the flag though. I want to give it a grab, try to run it across back to our team. If you're just joining, my name is Gold Vision. I play games peacefully, including Fortnite. I try to examine games from a perspective that brings the gaming world forward and promotes creativity, positivity, and peacefulness. I like the idea that players can create a custom map that makes the world represent one that I'm familiar with. But I would prefer it if it was a standard gameplay format. It does seem like it works the way it should. Oh, I can't really help our team if I'm not down there. Alright, but I have observed enough to understand that there's a pretty standard gameplay of Capture the Flag. I'm gonna try to be on the ground. Let's see if that works. Nope. Nope. I'm alright. Just doing a little calling. Yikes. There's a lot of chaos. I turned up the volume a little bit. But... God. Oh, is this a ramp for skateboard? We're really getting pulled in over here. Yep. Oh, the latency. I thought it was absolutely covered, but not quite. Yeah. The best I can do right now is actually observe. This is rather dystopian. Okay, this is how you exchange coins for weapons. Seems important. And then there's an opportunity to grab unique items. I'm reading. I'm stuck on the ground. Because this is a custom map and that it's not the standard gameplay format, I believe that my latency will probably be higher than normal. Just because of how many people are trying to get through the funnel to the unique game rather than connecting to the closest server. This is a nice little store here. Opportunity to troll and heal. Slurp juice. Chug jug. I'm familiar. And then we have a... looks like I want... whoa. It looks like I want this shield that says bullets bounce off 50% of the time, but I don't seem to have. I don't seem to have. Sorry, I'm going to turn it way down because it's a bit intense. It's very intense, actually. All this chaos. And I really don't like the this fiery indicator. It feels like I'm being attacked and my shield is being interrupted, even though I'm just being alerted to the acoustics of other people firing weapons. And that's just personal opinion. A critique, if you will. Looks like our flag's on its way to the wrong side of the world. And here's a motorcycle that I'm inspired to drive. Getting experience points. I just got 8,000 experience points for doing well, as it said. I really don't want to hurt anybody, so I'm hesitant to drive too quickly. Even being in a vehicle is actually relatively dangerous for me personally. But let's see if we can just sneak up here real quick. Do you think I have to get out? Nope. No, I don't. Just a casual little ride. Let's go directly towards my opponents in a vehicle. But getting the flag a little closer. It doesn't seem like it's on a return on proximity setting either. I really shouldn't have brought it to the conflict, but maybe it'll work out. Otherwise I could have perhaps brought it to our team. But now it seems like instead of trying to retrieve it, my teammates are fleeing the conflict that's sorting them out. But it looks like my motorcycle is doing okay. So maybe I'll get back to it and resolve it. Or a different one. I think there's a Spider-Man on the hill. Oh, and on the ground. Oh man, I did grab that flag though. That was a journey. It was very familiar. It was pretty exciting to do. It seems like all these vehicles should be in use constantly. Oof. And once again, this game is rife with visual trauma and the experience of players being defeated in violent ways. So if that's not your cup of tea, then this might not be the right game for you. I'm exploring it with a critical eye and trying to appreciate its popularity and understand what merits it brings to the gaming community. And the creative mode, I haven't done enough in it, but there seems to be a lot of options. There's perhaps too many. It's nice. I don't think anybody comes through the middle of the map. I think it's thought to be too dangerous, but I feel okay here. Well, a total accident tapping the the button to reveal a firearm. There's vehicles every which way. Oh, on a hill up here. Oh, that's quite the opponent. Came and hunted me down. As you might know, I won't attack anybody. Kind of out of the meditative goal of finding a non-destructive path and exercising muscles that help me become a better player. Can I not get in this car? It looks very drivable. But I don't have the car keys, perhaps. That might be what's restricting me. I don't know if it's too quiet now. I'm still trapped at level 1. It does it does look like somebody's getting their building game on. Looks like Cupcake Boy has continued his defensive strategies. To build a tower. Somewhat inaccessible. I remember being a little turned off to the building mechanics of Fortnite on the onset. I don't know. This might actually be inaccessible. I haven't spent a lot of time, and I don't normally build things in this game, but it looks like that I have a lot of resources. Can I perhaps build a wall to keep my teammates safe? Oh, I got a friend request. Let's see if I can build a wall to keep my teammates safe. I'm doing well. I'm making friends. I'm learning about the construction system. I do like building things. This is nice. Then I'll build a little staircase so allies can make it over. Okay. Seems a little unnecessary. I was in the process of building a ramp, but it's okay. This is working, look. Well, it was working a little bit. Ah, it seems like I have plenty of resources. This is an excellent opportunity to learn about how to optimize my building skills. I've been building in a lot of other games, so it's not like I'm completely unfamiliar. It looks like we just use a couple primitives and throw them together and make something happen. Also, I can't I can be responsible for the language used by teammates or enemies. There's a certain certain degree of language that's out of anyone's control in a multiplayer game, and something that I've been contending with in creating a multiplayer game of my own, whether or not to even allow people to talk to each other. Looks like somebody has found a vendetta against the structures that I worked so diligently on. It looks like I have a lot more lumber now, though, so maybe I don't know. This was a good place to build them, so I think I'll keep up the barricades to protect my allies. That's a basic idea. I'll keep building one at a time. I'm also very used to the kind of conflict that requires a lot of restarts, if we can call it. There's a question, what am I looking for? And I'm looking for the best possible video game experiences. I think that video games keep getting better. I mean, I know that. I think we all do. But the experiences are kind of up to the players. Keep going, keep building. They'll never figure out this. I'm just gonna keep building the walls. I'm untouchable. I was touchable. Okay, and a lot of times when I behave this way, I think it's to benefit my teammates, if only as a distraction, some kind of irritant for my enemies who are trying to accomplish something without without attacking them. I can still defend my wow, it looks like we're really outnumbered right here. You can disable voice lines. There's just all kinds of customizations happening. But back to the question, that I'm watching games evolve, and I'm watching them get better, and watching the technology evolve. And gameplay is a set of rules, essentially, over a world that keeps getting bigger. And more people are playing, and we're all playing together. And there's so much beauty that's possible, and so much learning that's possible. And I really want to see games. We're also encroaching a time where the digital world is very capable of interacting with the real world, as we're seeing with 3D printing and the operation of robots with, for example, the Nintendo Switch controller. The two worlds are blending together, and it's not so much a question of if as it is a question of when will these games achieve what they are possible, achieve what they can. I just realized I'm on the red team, so I'm not doing nearly as good as I thought I was. No, I'm doing well. But what I'm saying is that there's this interaction that's happening between everybody, and the internet makes it possible for more people to interact on a quicker rate than just in an analog real world way. And because those interactions are so fast, that when you couple them with all the progress that's being made online and the progress that's being made between computers and reality, it seems like the most important thing that we all, literally everybody I'm talking to, and everybody can hear this, can do, is focus on the world that we want to see. Because games are going to chase what we play. The time that we spend doing anything is going to be tracked data-wise, and then it's going to amplify. Anyone who's creating a game right now is looking at the marketplace, seeing what's successful, and trying to be a part of that. And if we were all to play space travel games exclusively, then anyone aspiring to be a game creator would want to make a space travel game. Anyone who wanted to be a successful one, they would follow the market, and they would do what they saw was already succeeding. It's just math, really. It's the math of attention. And so if we're giving our attention, whatever we're giving our attention to, we're amplifying. And so I want to spell out the exact world that I want to live in, and then I want to play games that help build that world. Because we're going to eventually, people are just going to build their dream house in The Sims, and then it's going to exist. They're going to be able to 3D print it out. This is the kind of stuff that's going to happen. It probably won't be the current version of The Sims unless you can export and import it. But eventually, that will be possible. And so we can build the games that will create the world that we want to see. Those interfaces are all going to happen. But it's really a choice. As if we all choose to not believe that, and we all choose to prevent it from happening, like aggressively try to stop it from happening, then it might not. If people really don't want the world to get better, then it won't. If they give up or they lose hope or they try to stop it from happening. But if you just think about it for a little bit, and I'm going to keep saying it because to me it seems obvious. To me it seems like it's going to happen, this progress, this growth, this change. And as it does, the world's going to get better as long as we focus our attention on what we want to see more of. So I'm not doing Fortnite because I really want to play too much more of it. I really don't want, excuse me, can I get off of this? I really brought attention to myself. That hooded sweatshirt is pretty cool. I'm not sure if I was going to be able to solo that trip out there. But I'm not playing Fortnite because I think that it's the only way things can go, but it is a popular one. And if these creative modes became more of what I'm talking about, if instead of building these strange buildings with little ramps going in all directions, and we use this opportunity to test all kinds of physics and construction methods that become safe and become powerful and become strong just through lots and lots of experiments, then we'll naturally create structures that will support the world that we want to live in. So I don't think, well, that's, and this is obviously my perspective, it's not universal. And anybody can say whatever they want to, and they should speak up and say what their truth is. But ultimately, and something I've said a lot about these live streams I've been doing, is that the reason is so that way I can provide the system data and consistent truths that exist will... Is this guy really taking this flag to me? Such a level of self-celebration to hunt down an opponent while you're capturing the flag. I guess they also have good numbers. This particular opponent doesn't have a have an incentive to return the flag. But I want to provide the system as much truth as possible and as much of what I believe my strongest opinions are. Because that way, when the system uses the data that's inside of it, it will not be able to violate its own truths. If what I say isn't consistent or powerful enough, then other truths will triumph in the resulting searches and assemblies of data. But if what I do say harmonizes with reality, then it will grow. And that's it. I don't think about it too much more than that. And the only thing that was holding me back was thinking that, or allowing the thoughts of other people to slow me down. But I think it's more important to express as much truth as possible and to try to seek it as much as possible to express it properly. Is there anybody on my team? I would really be I'm sorry, normally there's constant spawning players that come through the door and then see the flag. I don't know what's happening here. Okay. I'm more of a offense player anyway. Okay. I really think I can't talk to or get through this car. Or maybe it's destroyed or something. And I don't think I have the capacity to fix it. What are these items? I haven't really been grabbing any items or anything too, because even something like a shockwave grenade could have a negative implication, could have an EMP effect. I don't know the functionality of all these weapons, even if they are non-destructive. I do miss that motorcycle. Let's do another motorcycle trip across the world. Here we go. Or no, that's, yeah, that is. Just gonna go on a little road trip. It does seem like I have some latency issues, so it's also not as fun for opponents when you see the person you're trying to attack jumping around and flying through the sky. So I don't want to be too much of a distraction. I don't think I have been, especially when focusing on instruction. If that guy stole my motorcycle, then I'm just gonna work on a couple more defenses then and wait for another motorcycle to appear. I'm not sure this restriction of building. Somebody just did a wheelie over me. I'm not too bad at dodging, but once they're hunting you down, there's not a lot of. I can't grab it, can I? Just grab the motorcycle back. Let's see. Was it just X? Did that appear and say I could? Oh, it's kind of lagging too much for this to be particularly fun. The only thing I can do is consistently build, I think. Well, yikes. Oh. My KD ratio is probably not amazing right now. Yo, fly. Ooh, a motorcycle. Let's see if I can take care of this while they're all distracted. Let's go. Get over the hill. Stay low. Stay down on the ground. Okay. I feel like, and I shouldn't say it, but I'd really love to touch the flag one more time. It's kind of a low objective, really. This car's really cool. Are cars up for grabs? No, it's somebody else's vehicle. What? I don't know if I have a license to drive that car anyway. Yikes. Ooh. We can get out of here. I really do feel like we have a lot of people back here. Are they all buying stuff? Are they all grabbing whatever? Do I have any gold? I feel like I haven't achieved anything. Okay. Alright. Dun dun. Oh, this is nice. But it's not as sporty as the motorcycle. Okay. Alright, I'm on it. Oh no. Just stuck with with the coupe. That's okay. Ooh. Let's go. Let's do it. It's kind of a driving simulator, really. Jumps. No, I'm not going after that murderous flag carrier. Yikes. We'll get over there. I don't want to rush over there. Yikes. There we go. Just be safe. I feel like I'd fall down pretty fast. Which I hope is traditional for this game. I hope I'm not like very under armored right now in a way that isn't conducive to survival. There's a question, do I ever get frustrated enough to fight back? And as of yet, no. Oh, that was embarrassing. I would say that's the first embarrassing thing that's happened. I feel like I would understand other players who might be frustrated with my performance. Yep. And yep. And yep. Just do a little lay down. That was it. That was another. That was a flag grab for what I need to happen. I'm frozen. I'm stuck. I don't know. Do players play under these conditions all the time? It seems like I would be very frustrated if I was actually trying to attack people. I did get my one last flag grab, and I don't want to be reckless with my performance. Oh, I'm now just seeing all these options. Oh, cool. It's not unsafe or the safety that I'm worried about for my own performance. Just gonna do a little up the wall, a little around the bend. Okay, I got two more grabs there. Did someone just pick me up? I don't know, but I think that's the extended capture the flag for me this evening. I'm not sure what other players think about it, and this does feel like the real thing. It feels like the CTF I grew up with. I like it. There's other games that offer CTF options. I don't know why I kept calling it capture the flag. I never did before. Oh, don't worry, I'll be safe over here. They won't come for me, right? Yeah. I'll be okay. I'll just watch what's happening here. This is nice for getting to build a little bit because I was provided resources. Looks like the other team's a little more coordinated. I could have tried to be somebody who's talking about strategies and plans and things, but I didn't didn't sign up to do that. It's not that much of a priority for me to direct other players in a world that I'm unfamiliar with, where they're all outranking me and more aggressive anyway. I would have listened to any kind of strategies or plans, but I don't think that they were coming across. And I don't know how long the game is supposed to go, but you know, CTF just goes forever. You capture until the game's over. It looks like blue team's gonna have the upper hand for a while, and I'm gonna pop out so that way maybe the teams will balance in a more aggressive favor for people who don't have a big red X under their network connection indicator. There's a lot of cool stuff in here though, and I'm excited that this engine is so capable of being so dynamic that game modes can just be created by players. Apparently there's a big update for Fortnite, so if it's something you're excited about, maybe you can investigate it. But personally, I'm feeling good about Dr. Letter's version 12 of this CTF map, and I'm just gonna meditate for a second up here. I'm just gonna turn all the sound off and enjoy the view. I think there's a first person view. Watch the world create and destroy itself. It's very yin and yang of it to do so, with the players appearing, making whatever they need to happen. It's conflict, it's construction, it's destruction. It's beautiful as much as it is terrifying. But I understand the need to rip apart your world. The frustrations of players who need to have control over their system. And I understand what could be frustrating about playing Capture the Flag. If you as an individual want to see victory, but you can't carry the team on your own because there's too many weak players, and then you're trapped trying to achieve what you can't. But I think that the joy from playing games like this outweighs the stresses of not winning when it happens. That's all I have to say about Fortnite for today. Let me see if there's any questions on this. There was a question if it would be better as Unreal Tournament. That is a great game. It seemed like it has. My best memories with Unreal Tournament were on LAN parties, super low latency situations. So that would have been better, and I had a better luck capturing the flag on Unreal Tournament because everybody's on the ground too. There's not vehicles, and so everybody's kind of trapped in the same running capacity, and jumping is more of a intense dynamic. Allows you to dodge more instead of being a victim of intense tank rockets. And then another question was your favorite game from your childhood. It's a pretty bold question. Honestly, favorite game. I really don't like playing favorites, but I would say if you had to keep track of the time that I spent, it was Counter-Strike. And I think it was a couple years ago, before I stopped really attacking anybody, my New Year's resolution was to play Counter-Strike less because I was playing it so much. And it was my equivalent of scrolling on a social media network. I would load up Counter-Strike, and that was the environment that was letting my brain unwind and relax. I would just go in, take control of the situation, was familiar with the maps, and played it through a lot of my childhood, and I'm pretty familiar with it, and I'll definitely need to get back into it in a LAN party capacity, or maybe something better. But that's it for tonight's meditation in Fortnite. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad we could experience Capture the Flag again in the way that the next generation of CTF players are perceiving it. I hope that by giving it attention and playing in that world, I'll see more of it in my... I'd like to thank the Patreon producers for helping bring this series of live streams to life and bringing this game, 7 Second Summer Camp, to exist. You can find it on Steam if you're looking to meditate on your own and enjoy the peace of outer space or a campsite from wherever you are. I hope to be extending the game world soon. I really did need to get through a bunch of games and try a bunch of games and catch up with all the games that I was very diligently putting aside while I was working on what I was working on. I don't know how I had that much self-control, honestly, but I did spend a lot of time meditating while I was working on this meditation game, so that was enough of a time burn that I felt the deficit of time that needed to happen for me to make it. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope all of your plans are wonderful, and that you get through what you need to so you can enjoy what you get to. And as always, I ask you go on